Hey, this is Campbell.
Hey, it's Chuck the Iceman Liddell.
This is Emmett Smith, and you're listening to 3 Point Conversion.
What up? What up? It's your man, Mr. Controversy. Did you miss me? And of course, I am not doing this show by myself. And of course, we inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. I got my road dog to the right of me, my guy, Rue. What up, Rue? You sound like the trying to sign the Kung Fu people. Man, I can't hear nothing you saying, bro. You on mute.
Do I sound a little different today? Let's try that again.
Yeah,
What's up, y'all? What's going on, man?
You good? How you been?
Man, pretty good. It's feel like a minute. I feel like a minute since we've been in the lounge.
I was I was sick, dealing with that, man. I hope you ain't pass it to me through the airways, but I didn't have COVID. I checked. I ain't have COVID. I was just sick. I have children, so you know how that is when they coming from home from school and everything. But anyway, man, I am so glad that we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge, and it was a very interesting weekend, bro. Like a very interesting weekend. I thought I should have named the show. We should have named the show Gut Check Time, because that's what it seemed like, bro. It was gut checks for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to see yourself in the mirror, or or maybe other people got to see you for who you were or who you are, or whatever. But it was just like that throughout the weekend, man. So much going on, bro. But we definitely gonna get into it, man. And we have a great show lineup for you all. First, we got some news, some breaking news that happened today, man. That big trade. Yeah, the trade that involved Damian Lillard and DeAndre Ayton and Drew Holiday. And there's a couple of other people we're gonna get into and we'll name, but Rue, I wasn't ready for that one. I wasn't ready for that, bro.
That was one of them ones right there.
Yeah, definitely. And then on top of that, it's just how it came out. Like I said, because remember you heard Toronto was into it, looking to get, they were looking to go hard on them. Then Orlando Magic was involved, and they were trying to get. This is what you heard throughout the week, just rumors that they was going to try to get Dame. And then Milwaukee just came out with a haymaker, man. Just knocked all of them out. So, but we're going to talk about that later on. Also, man, college football, man. We got to get into college football, man. With everything that's going on in college football, I just think that the way the Pac-10 is going on, man, with basically it's the best conference in football, Rue. But for some reason, I don't know why, the president or the governors or whoever the Pac-10 say, hey, we're we're just gonna let it go. We're gonna just dismantle the Pac-10, and maybe he acted too soon. But we'll talk about that while we feel that way. Then also, man, we got to talk about Deion Sanders, the hate on him, the hate on Colorado, or is it jealousy, or is all of it warranted? We're gonna get into that also. Then we got fantasy football, man. How you doing your fantasy football teams?
Yeah, I won this week. Both my leagues, three
What's
leagues. I won all three. Actually, so I'm 2-1 in all of them.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yep.
That's what's up. I am 3-0 in one. Then I am 2-1 in. I got 9. So and
Ooh, a lot to
5.
keep up with, man.
No, I'm 2-1 in 6, and then I got 1 and 2 leagues. But the one of my both 1 and 2 leagues are very strong. Anyway, we'll get into that. And then we got to talk NFL football, man. We got to talk about the 70 burger, of course, but not just the 70 burger. We want to talk about who had the most embarrassing loss, because there was some embarrassing losses this Sunday. And we're not gonna put Colorado in this. We're talking about Sunday, just Sunday alone. But it was some embarrassing losses, very embarrassing, man. And then we got Major League Baseball. Congrats to the Braves for winning the division. And
That's
on their way to
5 years in a row now.
Yeah, 5 years in a row. So I guess y'all started another streak. So we'll see. And then we got Dr. Fowler coming in, answering questions about injuries and fantasy, injuries to your fantasy, or the teams that you love, or the favorite players you love, So we got questions about that. And then we got our weekly picks, man. So let your family and friends know they can listen to the show live locally. Or if you're away, just go to the 3-Point Conversion Facebook page. Also go to the 3-Point Conversion YouTube channel. Should be on the 3pointconversion.com as well, bruh. But hey, man, it's time to get to these quick hits. Let's get it. So, Rue, first off, Michigan State fires Mel Tucker for the 5th time in a row. Man, it's like he's been fired 5 times already. I could have sworn he been fired already. But he got fired. They finally officially fired him. He's under university investigation for a sexual misconduct complaint by Brenda Tracy. Get this, and she's a sexual assault awareness speaker. Wow, bro, what are you doing? Or forget that. She could be lying, but if she's that, why are you messing with, or why are you putting yourself in a situation where you can get in trouble with somebody as a sexual assault awareness speaker? I'm not even getting near her. You know what I'm saying?
No.
What does she get mad?
And basically, you're saying it the nice way. I don't it's a lady who's been raped before. And basically, you're right. I wouldn't put myself in bed. And she's an activist for women who have been raped, and sexually assaulted. So that would just freak me out. Like you said, that would just freak me out. But that was he gotta be more careful, man. What up, Brandon?
Yeah, you got to be more careful with that, man. Like I said, I couldn't even deal with that. But either or, and get this, they still owe him $79 million off his contract that they're trying to fight and say, no, you can't have it. But he is like, no, we should get it. We should, I want the money. So we'll see how that goes, but he's saying this has nothing to do with the contract. I'm under investigation. They're saying they're letting him go because of ridicule, but he's like, you bringing ridicule to the university, but he hasn't been found guilty. So how can y'all say we're not going to give you that money? I don't know. I think they felt like it was a mistake. This is a chance to let him go and get out that bad contract. So we'll see how that go, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what it sounds like. But moving on now, MVP for the WNBA race, like that MVP race was crazy. I don't know if y'all watched the WNBA, but it was a great season. Breanna Stewart was named MVP of WNBA, even though a lot of people felt like your girl Asia should have won. Bro. It was very close. Asia was Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you first or second in scoring. I thought is it Alyssa Thomas? I believe
for the Sun.
She could have for the Sun, yeah, she could have won it. But it was very close. This race was very close, but they gave it to Stu. So congrats to Stu.
It was like maybe 3 votes in between like first, second, and third. I think Brianna had like 44, Alyssa had like 41, and I think Asia had like 37 or something like that. She did come in third. But it was a tight race. They all balled. Stats look similar, but defensively, Asia's a stud, and more so than these other two.
I don't know if it's on my end. Your mic is kind of breaking up a little bit, but just letting you know that, bruh. I would say this though: if Breanna Stewart, like everybody wants to see, I believe it can happen. New York, they want to see New York and Las Vegas play. If they play, who do you have winning, Rue?
I got Vegas. Winning. Even though they don't have, I don't think maybe the depth New York has. I like Vegas because they've been there. Championship pedigree is there. Liberty, they're nice too though. Sabrina, Brianna,
nice. Yeah, they got a nice team. Yeah, they got something.
They sort of got the same, I think it'd be great for the WNBA. It'd be monumental, really. This would probably be the most viewed WNBA finals we've seen. And plus, we see Brooklyn, how they're coming and cheering on the Liberty. So I want to see it too, but I got the Aces.
Yeah, and Brandon's right. Brandon said the Liberty has their number. So but yeah, it'll be a big because you got some big time players, man. I mean, the last one I think was like this was when Chicago played Phoenix.
A few years ago, right? Candace.
Yeah, right. You had Candace, and you had, of course, Taurasi. You had Skylar. So some big names in that. But this is some big names in this, man. Moving on, the Baltimore Ravens signed free agent linebacker Kyle Van Noy, who once played with the Chargers. I didn't even know he was a free agent. I mean, I guess I hadn't noticed he was playing, but I didn't realize he was a free agent. Like, why would he be still out there? I mean, I know he plays like the 4-3. I mean, 3-4. So, I mean, I know the Bears. My Bears couldn't get him, but still, I don't understand why he was out there like that.
Yeah, I think it's a good signing, though. The Ravens, that can use all the help they can get, man. That injury report. I mean, you saw it last week. They was missing like 7 pieces on defense. So I like it. Why not? Like you said, I didn't know he was a free agent either. I thought he retired or something.
Yeah, I didn't even know, bro. So like I said, but that was a good signing for the Ravens. And then Alabama State wide receiver Jacob Freeman was arrested for a punch. He was punching. He punched the security guard, and he was getting into it with a fan. The security guard jumped in because they were losing, so he was upset. And he jumped in it, and while I'm talking, but check this out, Rue. And as y'all can see it, if y'all listen, if y'all watching, yeah. So y'all see, he lost his cool when he punched the security guard in the face during the game, and this is Saturday, and like he got arrested, And here's my thing, bro. I'm gonna play that again. if I was a security guard, watch the security guard. Watch how he was ready to fight, and he had to play it off. He thought about, I could get some money for this, or I could. Now, unfortunately, this is not the NFL. You know what I'm saying? This is not
pointing.
Yeah, this is not like this is a millionaire to hit you. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if he felt like he'd get money for the school or whatever. But he definitely went after him. Then he kind of like try to play it off, whatever. But come on, man. Y'all gotta contain y'all emotions, man. Y'all gotta contain y'all emotions. Then last but not least, former AEW TBS champion Jade Cargill has signed a multi-million-dollar deal, or multi-year deal, I should say, probably $1 million deal with WWE. I know TJ Bentley is in here, and TJ Bentley follow wrestling. I know this is big. Everybody's saying this is big. What up, TJ?
Yeah, she was with AEW. I know somebody who watches it. I think AEW is like the next thing to WWE, but going up to WWE, it's bigger. So that's a great move for her. I think it's a bigger platform for our sister. Is it still breaking up? Can you hear me?
It's on my end, but I think that's just me. Y'all let us know in the chat room if y'all can hear it. I think it's just my end, whatever. But yes, like TJ said, she's getting that bag for this job. So congrats to WWE and congrats to her. And that wraps up quick hits. So we're gonna take a quick break and we will be right back.
My name is George Iceman Gervin.
This is Dylan Brooks. What's up? This is Vince Carter. You're listening to the 3-Point Conversion. Check it out.
All right. So we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And all right, man, let's get to it, man. That's what we are waiting for, bro. So like I spoke of earlier today, which is I'm still tripping off this. So, Rue, the Milwaukee Bucks, because remember, Giannis came out and was like, if y'all don't give me no help, I'm leaving. We need help. We need some players. And I'm with Uncle Shay Shay. He said, Giannis talking about he need players, but he got his brothers on the team. If he have his brother.
It's not his brother the next day, I think. The Bucks did. Then they waived them like a week later.
Right. But either or, the Portland Trailblazers, they so it's the Portland Trailblazers, the Phoenix Suns, and the Milwaukee Bucks. This is the trade. So it's 3-team trade. Milwaukee gets Damian Lillard. Portland gets Drew Holiday, DeAndre Ayton, Tamani Kamara, and Milwaukee's 2029 first round pick. Dang, 2029. First round pick and a Bucks swap. I guess Bucks pick swap. Phoenix get Yusuf Nurkic, Nasir Little, Keon Johnson, and Grayson Allen. I'm gonna let you go first. Your thoughts, just when it happened, what you heard, what you think about it. Go for it.
Here we are. It's not. It ain't really hit me yet though. Like with Dame on the East now. But initially I saw what the Suns got before I talk about the Bucks. I think the Suns getting what they got was important because I think they need all the depth they can get. And those are some solid pieces. I like Grayson Allen off the bench. I like Nasir Little if he can stay healthy, and Keon Johnson, who showed he could play some defense. But Yusuf Nurkic, we all know the relationship Monty and Ayton had. So that was going to come to an end at some point. But no, Monty's not even there anymore. Is Monty even there anymore?
Monty's not there anymore.
Yeah,
no.
So but I think Ayton, it was something going on with Ayton in Phoenix. So I think it was definitely good that I think getting 4 pieces to 1 was good for the Suns, man. But the Bucks, bro, it's gonna be because the upgrade from Drew Holiday to Dame that's lethal. You talk about a player who him and Giannis, how they can be on the pick and rolls. I just imagine how can you guard that? Because if you go high, you know where Dame's going. He's gonna throw it to underneath to Giannis. And one thing about Drew wasn't the threat that Dame is from three. So you were sort of living with Drew on that pick and roll. I don't see how teams can guard that at all. You getting one of the best players in the league. It takes a lot of pressure off Giannis. I think in late game situations. So my initial thoughts is, wow, here we go.
You know, I was shocked, like I said, but initially I thought, like you said, oh, this is crazy for Portland. I mean not Portland, but Milwaukee. They clearly won this. It's a big upgrade, like you said. How are you going to stop them too? Then I thought, how will those two play with each other? Here's the thing, because I know people always use this term a lot, whatever, but it's the truth, especially with these players. These players, and I don't even want to use ball dominant, but these players are used to having the ball in their hand. I'll say that, because ball dominant means you just not passing the ball. I think the offense just ran through them. Milwaukee had gotten better, but this is the first year without Nick Nurse, correct? I believe this is the first year without Nick Nurse. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
But Giannis is used to not having the ball in used to always having the basketball in his hand. But we know Dame is a point guard. Dame scores, but Dame gets 8 assists a game. So it's like, I'm just curious of how this is going to work now. You know, how they're superstars, so they can make it work, but we've seen where superstars don't work. But Giannis is not selfish at all. You know, he's probably the least selfish person in the NBA. But if they make it work, then it's scary. I think they lose a lot on defense without Drew now. Because Dame, let's Dame say, I'm gonna step it up. But let's face it, he's nowhere near the defender Drew is. So with this league where you got your wing players, you got your wing players that can, handle the rock and everything, but yet still you have your guards. It was a perfect combination when you had Drew and you had Giannis. You got Giannis, probably top 3 defensive player in the game. And you had Drew as a top 10 player. You don't have that anymore. So,
but I think you would trade that though offensively for what you get offensively, and plus I think it's gonna spread the floor out even more than what it was with Chris Middleton. Now I think this is sort of his role. I don't think he's the second best on a championship team. I do think he's the third. So I do think in his injury history over the last 2 years.
But listen to this though. Like you said, Portland gets younger. I like, what they did. DeAndre is a good fit. You got a center. I think now that kind of opens up the floor without Dame now, because now you have players like Simon who can go ahead and blossom and play his game, but you still got someone. Nurkic. I love Nurkic, man. Nurkic. I love the way he played. But now Simon has to learn how to play. Well, he knows how to play point guard, because I forgot you got Scoot. So Scoot has to be that point guard. But now your team just get more defined now, because they still have Jeremy Grant, I believe. So now your roster looks pretty balanced. Like that Portland looks very good. And then with Phoenix, I think I don't want to call DeAndre Ayton a cancer, but I just think it was just between him and Monty. Now that they're not there, you just have that elephant that was in the room is gone. You know what I'm saying? So I like it, bro. I like it. I really like it, and I think all teams won on this. Like, I don't want to say, like, do you think it's a particular team that won the trade?
I do think the Bucks won the trade because of what they get. You get a superstar. It's nothing that can match what Dame. Nothing that can match what Dame can bring you. And just to lose Giannis, essentially. I mean Giannis, Drew. You trading Drew for Dame. Yeah, Bucks won, but I don't think anybody lost. Like you said.
Yeah, I don't think nobody lost, but I think Bucks. Okay, if Bucks
Plus,
won,
all the buyers who wanted Dame, they beat him.
Right. But look, Bucks won because not only you get Dame, but you get to keep Giannis. So I guess we talk about LeBron when LeBron talks about, hey, this is what I want or whatever. We see Giannis has that type of power, you know. Like he spoke, they said, okay, this is what we're gonna do. But I'm just saying, Rube, Portland got better because their team is more balanced now. Their team is it's fit. It makes sense now, you know, and they got younger in a sense. So I just think everything works out. Like you said, nobody lost, but I really like how Portland looks, you know, and then Phoenix.
I like what Phoenix got.
Yeah, because now you have a center now, and you have a center now that can come in. He can do multiple things. He could pass. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to play basketball. He could shoot the jumper. Aiden could shoot too, but he could play down low as well. And I don't think he will be as. Sometimes, let's be real. Aiden was very lazy. You know what I'm saying? When he was playing, he was very lazy. So, but I think everybody won on the trade, man. I like I said, I like it. I'm excited with it. I think it was good. Only thing I have to ask you is, where is Drew going, bro? Because I'm gonna tell you where I think Drew is going. I think Drew is going to Miami.
Yeah, they definitely gonna be in the runnings.
I think he's going because it fits. He fits their persona. You know what I'm saying? Especially they lose Vincent and they lose Strus. So I think now if you have a Drew Holiday who plays defense, you bring Kyle Lowry off the bench, you get him back hero. Duncan Robinson got his confidence back. Of course, you got Jimmy and my guy in the middle, which they'll probably be the best defensive team in the league if they get him. Mm-hmm. If they get him. But do you think he go to Philly though?
I didn't think about Philly.
Could this be the hold on? Could this be the trade? Could this be the trade that Philly needs and wants to get Harden out of there and to get somebody in return?
I wouldn't do it if I was Philly. I wouldn't trade Harden for Drew if I was Philly. But can you
say that one more time?
I said I wouldn't trade Harden for Drew if I was Philly. But it's two places that could be sneaky. Back to New Orleans or maybe Chicago. I know that I like Miami the most. Probably Miami to get something out of all of this. But I think Chicago would work too.
I didn't think about that either. I didn't think about that. Yeah, because they definitely need a point guard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see Philly.
Well, hey y'all, we'll see what happens. Okay, my bad.
It must be a delay. I think it's like a little delay.
Say that one more time.
It must be a delay.
Say that one more time.
I said it must be a delay.
I think it's because I don't know if it's me or you, whatever. But I think it's a delay. But either or. But like I said, good trade. This probably last question. Do you think this trade was better than the Brooklyn, well, before they got on the court, do you think this trade was better than the Brooklyn Philly trade?
Nah. No, yeah, I do. When you say Brooklyn, Philly, you mean when Harden went over there with enjoying Kyrie and Kevin Durant?
Yep. With Simmons.
I like this trade more.
So look, we're gonna end the segment, man. But again, like I said, I love the trade. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it goes. We about to take a quick break, and we're gonna be back, man, to talk college football. Don't go anywhere. Even if y'all not college football fans, y'all don't want to miss this. All right, we'll be right back.
It's Kalen DeLoach, linebacker.
This is Tyler Van Dyke. I play quarterback for the University of Miami.
What's going on? This is Shador Sanders. You're here listening to the 3-Point Conversion.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, and we're gonna bring Rue back in. We do apologize for the technical difficulties. And Rue, you there?
Yeah, hopefully it's better. You can hear me good?
Yeah, I got you. So, all right, man. So, you know what time it is, man. You know how we do, man. We do our nosy neighbor watch, and I'm gonna let you go first. What is your nosy neighbor watch for this week?
I'm gonna let you take it first this week, Mr. Controversy. I want to hear yours first.
All right, so mine, honestly, it is. Hold on, let me get my notes together. I want to see what
together.
I want to see what Kentucky gonna do. No, I want to see what Kentucky gonna do because
undefeated.
Undefeated. They play Florida. Florida's ranked. UK isn't. They're not. This is big stage. This is their chance to show, hey, we belong. We should be in the top 25. So I want to see how good they really are, man. And one more, if I can. I got my binoculars out. I want to see what Ole Miss does, man. Who's their defensive coordinator? Who is this guy? What are they doing or whatever? The next thing you know, he lose to him. You know what I'm saying? They get shut out. So I want to see what Ole Miss come back. Because if Ole Miss comes back and they win, then, okay, Alabama's the better team. But at the same time, maybe you should have shut your mouth. But if Ole Miss come back and they come in, they come out flat, then you know what? Now we're talking, you should have shut your mouth anyway because y'all not that good. So my binoculars on, I'm peeping out. I'm looking at Kentucky. I'm looking at Ole Miss. So I guess I'm just looking at the SEC right now. So that's my nosy neighbor watch. What is yours?
And that's cool. I got my eyes on the SEC too. But it's other teams. I'm looking at LSU on the other side of Mississippi, who plays Ole Miss. I'm looking at Brian Kelly, peeping out the blinds, seeing if he's going to win a big game. Because this is a big game on the road. And they had a tough win last week. They pulled it out against Mississippi State by a field goal. But this is one on the road. And I feel like you're number 13. You're right on the edge of that top 10. You know, you go beat Mississippi after a tough loss last week. Mississippi's a good team. Alabama, we all know Nick Saban. We can't discredit them, but I still think Ole Miss is a good team. Second best team in the West. So when I say the West, we all know LSU's in the West. I do think Ole Miss on a good day is better than LSU. So I just want to see what Brian Kelly's going to do. Impress me, Brian Kelly. And then I'm looking at Tennessee. And I'm looking at this SEC matchup between them and South Carolina. Last year, South Carolina smacked Tennessee in the mouth by 30 points. It was 64-36, if I'm right, if I'm correct. The biggest loss, most points Tennessee's ever given up in history came by the hands of Spencer Rattler. I want to see what Joe Milton's going to do against Spencer Rattler. So I'm looking at Joe Milton in particular. Spencer Rattler to me is the best quarterback in the SEC so far this year. So I want to see what Joe Milton's going to do. How is the revenge factor? How much does that weigh on him? Because he was the quarterback of this matchup. Hendon Hooker got hurt. So I'm looking at Tennessee, looking at Joe Milton, and I'm looking at Brian Kelly this weekend. Like you said, I'm all SEC.
I'm with you. Do you think SEC still has the best conference in the NCAA?
This, I'm gonna sign out and sign back on, man. I can't. It's breaking up.
I guess we lost the room, man. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's his or mine, whatever, or StreamYard. We're gonna have to call StreamYard because StreamYard be tripping. So what I'm about to do is give me 1 second. We're about to switch something. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to bring Root back in because I think he's having a problem with on his end. But let me know if y'all can hear me because, like I said, I know Root was going in and out. So let me know if you all can hear me. But so what I was talking about with SEC, and I was talking about as far as we all know that SEC used to be that conference where they dominated everyone. Everyone said they couldn't they couldn't be stopped. No one could compare. No one was there. But then all of a sudden, the Pac-10 is there. So, Ru, I want you to speak on this because I know you're the college football guy. You tell me why do you think what happened to the Pac-10? Why do you think all of a sudden they just got so good?
Well, I think they've always been good with quarterbacks. I just think they needed time. Michael Penix, I think he's always been good. Once he was pretty much doing this on a little lower level at Washington last year. He wasn't this quarterback in Indiana. Bo Nix, I think he just needed some more, I guess, an extra 2 year, a new system really from Auburn. And then the new addition of Shador. We all knew Caleb Williams was like that. Then you got Jalen Daniels, who a lot of people don't talk about. Not Jaden at LSU, but Jalen over there at Arizona. No, he transferred to that was another good quarterback, though. He transferred to Kansas, who has a good matchup with Texas this weekend. But we all knew about Caleb Williams. But it's the offenses they run, I think, and the defenses they play. The Pac-12 defense isn't really all that, and they have an offense where they're spreading you out. Which makes the quarterback look good and shiny. So that's another reason. A lot of these quarterbacks probably wouldn't be doing this in the SEC, but it's the Pac-12, and that's just the style of play. I think it looks good for their quarterbacks. We good?
comes back and they win. All right, man. All right, I'm back. I had to make some changes to the settings. Ru, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, we back. So go ahead, man. I want to chime in on this. I know you was talking about the Pac-12, and I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think they acted too soon when they let go of UCLA and USC. I think once they did that, and then they talk about they didn't want to sign another TV deal because I felt, and which at the time is they were right. Because honestly, who was watching the Pac-12? Remember, we used to make jokes about the Pac-12 on the show.
Yeah.
But
And let's not forget, Caleb just got to the Pac-12, so I think it did get a little, more flash and glamour on it when Caleb got there too.
But you got the two top Heisman Trophy leaders right now. I know it's early, but they're the leaders. The quarterback from Washington, and then you got of course Caleb. Then also you have what is it? It's 6 teams in the top 25. Before Colorado got embarrassed, it was 7 teams in the top 25, right? 4 teams on the top 10 of the Pac-12. And then you talk about the TV deal, all of a sudden you get the the biggest, I guess the biggest break with Deion coming to Colorado, because now all of a sudden you getting games is worth 9.3 million. It goes up every week. TCU was what, 9 million. TCU was like 8 something million. Nebraska was 9 million. Colorado State was 9.3. And then I think this Oregon game was almost reached 10 million. So I'm just saying, I know they got to be slapping themselves in the face, kicking themselves and each other, getting mad or what have you, because again, why would all of a sudden, you let this go, and then you look at what's going on with the Pac-12, and like I said, Pac-12 the best team in the NCAA, Colorado getting the most views. Now you even got kind of got beef between the teams right now. You know what I'm saying? So I just know they're sick, right? You got to be sick right now. You got to be sick.
Yeah. With Deion coming, it changes everything. It changed everything. Solely, I think Deion changed a lot. I think the people were gonna catch up to Caleb Williams' talent and Michael Penix's talent, and I think Utah's pretty good. Their quarterback Cam Rising is, I think 80% healthy now. If he can get healthy, to make it even better. But I think Deion and these matchups and the big noon kickoff games it's took it to a whole nother level for sure.
And speaking of Deion, I want to ask you this. Do you think that the hate or the jealousy people say it is, or is it warranted of what's going on with Colorado? Because let's be real. People think they're flashy, they're cocky. I'm just naming what they're getting accused of, right? They're doing too much. They're not. They don't care about click. I mean, the game. They care about clicks. And I mean, because we heard Dan Lanning, we heard what he said. But do you think it's warranted? Do you think it's jealousy, or do you think it has something to do with just hate?
I think it's warranted, man. That's how you got to get your players up. That's how those coaches are going to get their players up. They're going to look and say, "Look who's lining across you." These dudes are with the glitz and the glamour. They not putting in work. They've been nothing. What have they done? You know what I'm saying? What have they done to warrant all that? When I say all that, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Come on. They are flashy. They are, but I think that's Dion. That's how he gets his guys up. So you can't blame any coach for how they their motivation tactics. That was a great motivation tactic by Dan Lanning. He was the first to do it like that.
I ain't gonna lie. That speech was dope. I ain't gonna lie. I know a lot of people got mad at that, and they said this and they said that, but I don't know. It's funny, Brandon, because now I'm using my cell phone, to be honest. But everybody was saying, he was wrong. No, I thought it was dope. But again, he used Dion's tactic by using that and getting clicks. And, because they're going to get clicks, like who wouldn't want to go there now? You know what I'm saying? You might have some people that might want to go and watch them. Go and play for Dan Lanning now, because of what he said. And then they went out there and they smacked him, even though that Joker was trying to run up the score. My only thing, though, is what he said at halftime, bro. Then to me, it was all right. Now it's personal. When he was talking about, all right, I want to go ahead and we're not done yet. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. But then he was like, I hope everybody who's been watching the last 3 weeks, I hope y'all watching today. See, at that point, now you're getting personal, dog. Like, what this is, like, what was your point for saying that? But I give him props because he came back and he said, yo, that was on me. He was like, he said he need to humble himself. He said this after the game. I need to humble myself. So I give him respect for that. But the damage is already done. He did what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not even mad at what he said, the pregame speech. It's just the halftime and how he was, and he trying to show out Dion. He trying to kill him. I mean,
I don't think he tried to run the score up second half, though.
He did. He did.
They could have if they wanted to. They only scored like 8 points in the second half.
Think about it. They kept going for fourth down. And when they got to the goal line, they was going for it. So they were trying to score.
I will say this. I didn't watch the game like the whole thing just through and through.
They were I watched it. They kept, when they went to the goal line, they were trying to score.
They
Hey,
Brent, that's the game though, man.
Yeah, like Brent, they adjusted it. Like he right. They adjusted. You know what I'm saying? But he was trying to run the score, and it's cool, but it's like I said, at that point, he pulled off in the fourth, like late in the fourth. He's like, all right, let me pull up my guys. But to me, the object is to win. And honestly, I'm not even mad. I'm not mad he was trying to run the score, but I know in football, you see, it's like an unspoken rule that, all right, we're gonna take our foot off the brake. We beat y'all so badly. We're gonna take our foot off the brake. Now I know y'all want to talk about what happened to Miami Dolphins. We'll get into that later. That was different because I think, man. But before we get into, I'll say this: they were trying to run the ball. They couldn't stop them. So, but either or, like I said, so yeah, I just wonder if this is going to be a trend, which I think is going to be a trend because it's a lot of coaches feels like this. I mean, think about it, Dion. The way Dion came into this, he didn't have to go through the grind like all these other coaches did. These other coaches were assistant coaches. They took these bogus jobs. They took, to get here. With Dion, yes, he was HBCU for 2 years. And then he goes, next thing you know, now you're the coach of Colorado. Not only that, you on TV every game.
You got Lil Wayne singing.
You got all the NFL. You got The Rock showing up. And next, I wouldn't be surprised if Beyonce be at this USC game. That's how. That's how. Or Taylor Swift. That's how much. Like I learned a lot about Taylor Swift. I'm gonna give myself a stop it later on about that too. But anyway, I just think that has a lot to do with it. But then too, like you said, you had Lil Wayne coming out rapping and whatever, walking with them. They holding up the
Shador.
Yeah, Shador and all of that. And I mean, I get it. I get it. I understand it. I do.
Also did see a video of Colorado talking pretty I won't say disrespectful, but talking that talk before the game, stumping on the O, dragging their feet through it. I did see videos of that too.
Right.
That's the game is the game.
And I was about to say that because we saw Colorado State do that to
Colorado.
Right? I mean, the game is the game. I mean, my thing is those are kids too. I mean, I expect kids to do that. You know what I'm saying? They're kids. But I think that when you see Dion act like that, and I think that's when they get mad. But I'm with Brandon. Get used to it because it ain't going anywhere. My thing is, I think now once you saw what happened, you saw how Dan Lanning did that. I think that's about to be the trend. I think coaches now, because it's a recruitment tactic. I mean, you don't think all of this Dion is doing? I mean, first of all, we always know Coach Prime been like that his whole career. That's why I'm a big fan. But you don't think this is I won't say tactic, but you think, because it sounds horrible, but you don't think it's to get recruits? Like, if you're an 18-year-old kid and you're the best in the nation, but now all of a sudden you see a program that has all-stars and celebrities on the sidelines, you got Hall of Famers on the sidelines, you on TV every week, you got 9-point-something million views. It's nobody in the country right now getting them views like that as far as college football. So why wouldn't you want to go there? And then you get taught by the best of the best. And I'm not saying Alabama don't have great assistants, because they do. Alabama, Ohio State has great coaching, but I'm saying you got former players, great coaches from other schools, NFL coaches. You getting taught from the best, so why wouldn't you want to go? So I think all of it is a way to grab recruits, I should say.
Yeah, definitely is. Has to translate to winning though. That's the main thing. It is the main. Let's not take our eye off the main thing. It is winning, but I think he needs the recruits though.
But I think that's what he's gonna get though, Rule. Like I think that's the whole point of this.
Yeah,
it's because now you gonna bring in, because you remember, I mean,
it's gonna take some time.
Yeah, he really didn't have a recruitment class. I mean, he got
transfer portal class.
Yeah. Portal class. So this year, the recruiting is gonna happen. You probably still gonna get some people.
He had the number one recruit for 2025 visit him today. I saw.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Why would they want to? Who would want to visit Colorado?
Mm-hmm.
Who would want to play in Colorado? That's all I'm saying. Now, I do want to address this, and some people might not like this, but do you feel like it's so? I'll say it like this. I'm not even gonna ask a question. I'm gonna say it like this, because this was about to be my what's on my mind, but we're gonna take it here now. You're right, Brandon. All they need is beef. But so you've been getting a lot of people that says it's coming on these social media groups. They might be tagging you. They might call you and talk about this. You might get I don't see none of y'all doing this for Marcus Freeman. Y'all not doing this for what's my guy name at Penn State?
James Franklin.
I mean, I think some people think that Joker White, but anyway, you're not doing this for James Franklin. You're not doing this for him. Did y'all do this for Ty Willingham, or did you do this for? See, all y'all doing is just liking Prime, whatever, but y'all don't support.
Nah.
Now, when you hear that, or when I hear that, I'm gonna say for me, and then I'll let you speak on this. When I hear that, I understand what they're trying to say. Rue, I get what they're trying to say. I really do. But you know what? You know what it sounds like? The message is not coming across. Sorry, y'all. TJ Bentley said, "Don't none of them have their own rap song."
I'm getting what TJ's getting at.
But I was gonna say, the thing is, I think the difference is, this is me, like I said, because I understand what they're saying. Because I think college football fans, we know who Marcus Freeman is. I was rooting for Notre Dame, even though I hated Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but the thing is, like y'all say, it's prom. Everybody knows prom. Because right now, a lot of these fans right now, these 9.3 million, I believe half of these people that's watching, they're not college football fans. I bet you 40% of these fans don't even have a college football team. I bet you 40% of these college football fans can't name 5 teams from the Pac-12. But I believe that, like y'all said, it's Prime. It's Coach Prime time. He came from HBCU. But then also, let's not forget this, Rue. It was a lot of people that doubted Prime. It was a lot of people that was saying, oh, he can't do this, he can't do that. It was a lot of coaches that are doing it now that were hating on Prime when he came in. So that adds fuel to the fire. So I understand when they say that. But my only question to people like that is coming in, hey, I ain't doing this to this other brother. Are y'all supporting the other brother? Bro, you know who you sound like? You sound like the type that you're trying to accuse us of for liking Prime. You know what I'm saying? Because why are you making it to be like we're against them or not? I mean, I understand what you're trying to say, but your delivery and your messages are wrong. Because I guarantee you probably not rooting for Marcus Freeman. You probably not a Penn State fan or ever watched Penn State because of James Franklin. So that's my problem with that. I'm gonna let you speak on it.
Yeah, I agree. I just think too, those coaches don't embrace the culture like Dion does. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that they don't embrace the culture, but they don't embrace it like Dion does. Somebody said it, might have been Brennan. They ain't Prime. Prime has always embraced the culture from the very beginning. So people embrace him, and that's that on that.
No, I agree, and I think, like I said, I think that's what it is. I think that if you like what you like, and my thing is, like I told one person, I ended with this, bruh, educate, enlighten us. Don't come in here judging. Now, if you say, hey, I understand y'all like Prime, but let me tell you about another brother that's coaching, Marcus Freeman. He over here coaching, whatever. He getting this, he's that, whatever. And I don't think a lot of people rock with Notre Dame because of the way they did Ty Willingham. I know you was probably too young, but Ty Willingham came in, I think he was 500 the first year or 8-4. He had a good year. In the second year, they were like competing for national championship. Then he had a down year and they fired him right after that. Then you hired, did they hire Brandon? Help me out.
Charlie Weiss came.
I think they hired Weiss, I believe, after that. And Weiss was subpar, but this joker stayed for 3 or 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't rock with them. A lot of people might not be rocking for Penn State because of what? The situation that happened with Sandusky or whatever dude's name is.
Paterno, Joe Paterno.
And
Sandusky.
Yeah, Sandusky and Paterno. You know what I'm saying? So, bruh, you don't come in here judging folks and trying to force us to like somebody or getting mad because we loving Dion and we not giving this other brother the same. We don't have to give him the same type of what? You know, fanfare and nothing like that.
Support. And they probably don't want it, to be honest. I don't know.
They probably don't.
Right. But Dion wants it. Dion needs it.
And we're gonna keep it a buck. We you know how we do. We tell the truth and shame the devil. And there's nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong with this at all. But it might have some. You know how our sisters are. It has something to do with Marcus. And like I said, this is no shame to him. But I'm talking about fans. You know how our sisters are. You know, sisters don't like when a black man married to a white woman and got a white family. Oh, they could treat them. You know how I'm just being real. So that could be part of it. You know what I'm saying? And like Mike said, the way Deion is embracing and pushing the culture, and then not only that, just trying to help out young kids, period. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't care if you black or white, Asian, who wouldn't want that? Who wouldn't like that? That's all I'm saying. So, but yo, look, I could keep going, man. We can make that a 2-part segment on our own, but we're gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go. But look, we're gonna take a quick break, man, and we're gonna be back with the Stop It segment. Keep it locked.
What's up, family? I'm Real Mike Rob. Make sure you tuning in to the 3-Point Conversion Radio. They got all of it, and they keep it funky. Let's get it.
Inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Hey, man, we appreciate everyone who stuck and listened and hung around, man. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. I think it was my internet, but like I said, it's going on at home, so I switched. Brandon tried to make jokes. He's using his phone. He said PCS, but now it's working because I am using my phone as a hotspot. So, but hey, man, it is time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it. I'm gonna go first. So my Stop It goes to, well, let me set it up first. All right, man. So my Bears are not looking good right now, right? We looking like the worst team. We are the worst team in the league right now, right? We the worst team in the league. And Justin Fields don't look good. They not helping Justin Fields. We just don't look good. And Coach Eberflus came out and said, this is after we got beat 40, what we get beat? 48 to
41 to 10.
41 to 10. The score should have been higher. We should have been down 34 or 35 to 0 in the first half, but it was a penalty. But either or, Matt Eberflus comes out and says, I think we're really close to breaking out. I really think we're close. We're really close. I really believe that. We really are. I really do. I'm going to say that again. He said the Bears are really close.
To breaking out in what? A rash? He tripping.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I got to stop it, dog. Yeah, but like, come on, Matt. I understand you trying to pump up your team, dog, but come on, bro. Let's be real. But go ahead. What?
Gonna work, Eberflus. Not gonna work. Stop it.
Wait. And I got to give myself a stop it because I guess I'm behind. You didn't see my post, Rue, because you ain't on Facebook. But I put a post because, during that game, we've been hearing a lot about her, Taylor Swift and Kelsey, right?
Yeah.
Last 2 weeks. But then, and she was at the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they talked about. And I understand the game was a blowout, but they kept showing her all they talked about. Then on Sunday Night Football, they mentioned her, talked about her. Yeah. And, they were talking about her during the pregame and then during the show. Well, Taylor Swift, the announcers for the game were talking about Taylor Swift. So
Kanye when you need him, man.
Right. So I put a post up, and no disrespect to her, but I put a post up like, because last time I remember her was when Kanye said that. So I came on and was like, all right, I mean, first of all, I thought Taylor Swift was like 20-something. I guess because I remember her. You know how like when you see somebody, you ain't seen nobody's children in like 5-6 years, and when you see them, you were like, wait, that's her? Mm-hmm. She's 10 years old. Mm-hmm. Knowing you ain't seen her since she was 5, but because it's all you remember. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I think she like 2024 or something like that, right? But how and why is she so famous? And why? I didn't know that, dog. I didn't know they kept saying she's the country music or white version of Beyonce. She's
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I didn't know that. So
she's almost worth $1 billion. She's worth like
yeah,
8 million.
700. Yeah. So
yeah,
I'm gonna give myself
Stop
it, man, a few times. So
Stop it.
That's on me.
I wouldn't give you a stop it for not knowing Taylor Swift, though. I wouldn't.
Everybody else did. They were like, we're gonna give him a stop it for that. But go ahead. What you got?
All right. Mine go. So before I get my stop it out, what was the most shocking result to you this weekend? NFL.
Miami.
Oh, well, that was shocking, but upset wise.
Oh, Dallas.
Definitely. So, but it doesn't go to Dallas. It goes to the Cardinals. The Cardinals get my stop it today, and I'm gonna tell you why.
I don't know why, but go ahead.
So, in the team store over the past weekend, well, really since Monday, they did not have Josh Dobbs, their starting quarterback's jersey, for sale, and even they have these like dispensable vending machine jersey things where you can just order the jersey through the vending machine. It lets you pick every single player. I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah, it lets you pick like a soda machine. You pick the flavor. It has everybody's jersey from 0 to 99. It even has the punter, number 16. Cooney is the punter. Nolan Cooney. It does not have Josh Dobbs' name or number on this. I think that's a huge stop to the Arizona Cardinals franchise and team. This dude just had a huge upset over the Dallas Cowboys. So, and y'all don't have his jersey? Like, that's an insult to injury. And he said he found out because his family member was trying to purchase his jersey at the game and they didn't have it. Stop it. Oh, I would have had a fit if it was his cousin.
Stop it.
But I'd have caused a scene, man.
Hey, they said when he went to the when they went to the store and family asked, this is somebody called me and told me, they said his family asked, can we get a jersey? It was like the Dobbs jersey. They said the guy at the place was like, who is that?
Oh,
man. Let me see what the chat room, man. Okay, so TJ said give Vincent David Jackson Fantasy Drew a stop it for always trying to get over on fantasy trades. Oh man, but yeah, man, it was that was crazy. Yeah, we lose to Denver this week. Anyway, all right, y'all. Look, so let's not wait any longer, man. Let's go ahead and bring the man himself, the one and only Buffalo Bills fan, but crazed fantasy fan, and somebody has been doing fantasy since forever. I think he told me his first fantasy draft. He said in the first round he picked Walter Payton. So we're gonna give it to my guy Vincent the Fantasy Drew. What up?
What up, man?
Well, y'all too funny with that one. That's a funny one though. Walter Payton.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, fellas? What's going on?
Hey, Guru.
Hey,
what's going on, Rue?
We got a lot. Boy, it's a lot going on in fantasy, man. Of course, it didn't start off. We had your week one, and we talked about how should we panic or whatever, because a lot of players are not playing up to their standard. That was week one, and here we are, week after week three. Some have came along, but some still hasn't. It's been a struggle. But I want to ask you, two particular players, is it too soon to give up on Justin Fields and Joe Burrow?
Well, you made me laugh at that first one. Justin Fields. Oh, man. Um, Justin Fields was in my rankings. Justin Fields was the 7th overall quarterback taken in fantasy drafts, and he has hurt a lot of hearts so far because the quarterback position is such an important position because they're going to give you the most points every week. So you're looking at quarterbacks supposed to give you at least 20 plus points every week. Justin Fields has averaged like 13 fantasy points in 3 weeks. That's not going to cut it at all. Now, this coming a week, he has a good matchup. Home against the Broncos. He should bounce back. I would give him one more week. I would give him one more week. This is the game that he needs to go ahead and show out for. And with Joe Burrow, to have that talent, to have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins as his wide receivers, to come out fifth, pretty much the 4th or 5th fantasy quarterback drafted in most drafts, to only give you 3 points. Well, I think week 1, he gave you like 18, somewhere between 17, 18, and then he only gave you 8 points this last game. It's kind of like, come on, dude. Like, he got to do better than this. But when you got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins as your wide receivers, and they went first and third round, your quarterback got to play better than that. So I'm expecting Burrow to bounce back as well. But the only one that I'm kind of really worried about really is just Justin Fields, because he was rated so high. But if you got, but my thing is, whoever you have as your second quarterback, if you got a good second quarterback, depending on matchup, you have to, kind of go from there. But I am expecting Fields and Burrow to step back up, but they need to step up soon.
So we've seen AJ Brown, Amari Cooper, Jamar Chase finally have that good games, I might say. Do you expect DeAndre Hopkins to have a breakout game anytime soon?
Man, well, I'm hoping so, because I own him like in 2 leagues. I'm hoping so. He's averaged about 8 targets a game in the 3 weeks that he's played. So, but Tennessee, let's just keep it real. Regardless, I know that whole team is struggling. Look at even Derrick Henry, is struggling in as well. So I do think that he's going to bounce back. He's the number 1 out there. They just got to play this guy. They have a weak O-line. That's causing a lot of bad plays. And and Tannehill's already damn 50 years old. So so much he can do when he's out there trying to run. So you can't throw it to D-Hop. But but I'm hoping over the next couple of weeks. They got some pretty easy games coming up. They got Cincinnati. They have the Colts coming up. They have Baltimore, and they got Atlanta. So I'm definitely expecting D-Hop to bounce back up and be that fantasy relevant wide receiver. So
now we've seen we see, because things continuously happening, but we've seen Nick Chubb, Saquon, who else got injured?
Jamal Williams. Aaron Jones missed a couple of
Aaron
games.
Jones been missing. He's supposed to come back. But you've seen these running backs get hurt and be out. What running backs do you trust? J.K. Dobbins, thanks, Mike. T.J. Bentley, my bad. But J.K. Dobbins out. So what running backs do you like trust to replace them? And when I say trust, and the reason I say that, because of course, if you got other running backs, like if you stack with running backs, I don't mean that. I'm talking about as far as running backs you had to get from the waiver wire last week. So you got Ford, you got Kareem Hunt,
who's back hurt.
Yeah. Who else you got? It's Breida, but it's some running backs that you've had. Zeke, you might have sitting there. Like, which running backs do you truly trust to say, all right, I will play him this week?
Well, I mean, of course, yeah, it's been sad with these running backs being hurt, and we just going into week 4. You forgot about Eckler.
Eckler,
he was one.
David Montgomery.
Yeah, David Montgomery. Of course, the first thing you look at is their backups, but let's just start with Eckler. Josh Kelly, he actually had a good game with Eckler healthy in week 1. When Eckler got hurt, week 2 and 3, goose eggs. He hasn't did anything. You try to get these backup running backs because they're so important because it's so hard to find a good running back that's going to really play the whole 17, 18 weeks. That's just hard. But the backups, Kelly didn't do anything. Breida hasn't did anything. Breida, I think he had a touchdown last week, but if he didn't score that touchdown, he would only have four fantasy points. Now Ford for Cleveland, he's done well since the Chubb injury. But again, this last game he played, if he wasn't for those 2 touchdowns, he wouldn't have did much. AJ Dillon, when Aaron Jones been hurt, Dillon didn't do anything. So to answer your question, really, it's hard to trust any of the backups. Now, if you got lucky and you got guys like the young running back for the Rams, the Kyron Williams guy, he's been playing well. If you end up drafting guys like Raheem Mostert, and who would have thought Mostert would have been this explosive so far? The other rookie running back in Miami been balling. Devine, what's his last name? Arcane or whatever.
I don't know.
But Devine, he's been balling. DeAndre Swift, Mr. Controversy. You know about DeAndre Swift. So these guys have been who wasn't drafted high or not even drafted at all. These are the guys that are winning your fantasy teams of fantasy weeks so far. So those are the guys that that I have trust in right now outside of these backup running backs. Like no one's like really has stepped up to the plate just yet outside of Ford.
So who would you say is the hottest free agent on the waiver wire this week going into week 4? You just said a name, Devon. I can't pronounce his last name.
Arcane or something. I don't know. It's something like that.
He was in a lot of leagues before last week. I feel like that might be where you're going.
Oh yeah. He's definitely one. I mean, he's in some leagues that he was already on somebody's roster, but it's a high percentage that he's out there available. So he's gonna be the number 1 guy. And the man gave you 58 fantasy points last week in that slaughter against Denver. 58. He had 58 fantasy points. He had over 2. Huh?
I didn't have to play against him, so I didn't know what he did. Okay, wow.
Yeah, 58. But I mean, no one started him. Because now don't forget it was a blowout. So he had a little bit more carries. He had 18 carries for like over 200 yards rushing. He scored like 10 he scored like 4 touchdowns. But Mostert scored 4 times as well. And then now if you went against Mostert, you probably lost because a lot of people started Mostert. But Devon, he's definitely going to be the hottest guy. I would say Josh Palmer, the wide receiver for the Chargers. Now, since Mike Williams is out with the ACL tear, I think, and as much as Herbert loves to throw that football, a lot of those targets that Mike Williams had, which I think he averaged about 8 to 9 targets a game, those got to go to someone. So Josh Palmer, the rookie Quinn Johnston, I think those guys are going to be very high regarded out the waiver wire. And here's a quarterback, C.J. Stroud, Houston Texans. When I tell you, and after we saw him in the first preseason game, we were like, "Oh, this guy, he's playing like a rookie. He looked nervous out there." The man's averaging. Go ahead.
I almost brought the garbage watch back after that. You know how
Yeah.
much after that he was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like CJ Stroud, 4 touchdowns, no picks, averaging 300 yards a game right now. Hot. Now, of course, he plays Pittsburgh this coming weekend. But in week 5, if you got quarterbacks like Herbert, if you got a quarterback like Deshaun Watson or Geno Smith, y'all got a bye week 5. He'll be perfect.
You're trying to pick on my Falcons right now.
Oh no, but I'm saying week 5 they play against the Falcons in Atlanta. If you own those quarterbacks, they got a bye. You got to think ahead in fantasy. He's a good perfect pickup. He's a perfect replacement, bye week replacement for those quarterbacks. So those would be my top 3 for sure.
Yeah, that's funny. I just picked up CJ Stroud.
Yeah, that'd be a good bye week replacement. So definitely those guys that'll be on my list.
Well, I'm glad you said that because
look, Mr. Controversy taking notes. Don't take no notes, man.
I'm not trying to get someone out, but yeah. So and we got to let you go. But I didn't think the receiver from Houston, man, Tank Dell. He's been balling the last two games. The first game I don't think he really got to play. In the second and third game, they let him play. He had to start, and he's been exceeding every game. So, hey, man, we definitely appreciate you, man. We look to have you back soon. Can't wait.
Appreciate it.
All right, fellas. Y'all take care, man. Much love. Go Bills.
Yes, sir. All right. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. And time to talk some NFL football, man. We really about to get into it, so we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kyle Brandt. You might know me from Good Morning Football or maybe early 2000s Days of Our Lives. And you right now are enjoying the 3-Point Conversion Radio. You're watching, you're listening, you're loving. I love these people. They're dynamite. 3-Point Conversion Radio. Get it.
Back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, and it's time to get into this NFL. So let's speak about it, man. You talked about it. Let you talk first. What was the most embarrassing loss? Was it Denver? We mentioned that. We mentioned the Chicago Bears. We mentioned the Dallas Cowboys. It could have been Minnesota. What would you say would be the most embarrassing loss this week? What did you think?
Most embarrassing, no doubt, is the Broncos to me. You get 70 points hung on you. We haven't seen that since 66? I'm not that good at math, but I believe that's almost 60 years. That's
right.
Crazy. But yeah, and then the Broncos pretty much over the last few years, they haven't been known for much, but they have been known for their defense. One of the best scoring defenses in the league the past few years. Now you Sean Payton, you all of a sudden come after the Fangio era, after the Hackett era. They never did that. They were terrible to me. Vic Fangio, not as much as Hackett, but and you give up 70 points. Like, you're a coach known for your defense. That was embarrassing, man. The way Mostert and those guys were just lighting it up, even from the first play of the game when Tyreek went for a 50-yarder. That was the most embarrassing. Most shocking, Cowboys, though.
Yeah. Cowboys, that was, I didn't see that coming. For real. I didn't, the way it started, it looked like, okay, something ain't right. Like, this looks like this is about to be a blowout. Yeah, I mean, not blowout, but like, it looked serious. And sure enough, like you said, it just took on from there. It's got to be Denver, of course, because like you said, 70. But I think the Bears, man. I think the way the Bears lost, it was on national TV, and they got blown out. It already been a whole bunch of stuff going on because it was talks about Justin Fields in the beginning of the week. Is he good enough? And everybody want to talk about it. But then he came out and said something about the coach and, mentioned the coach, and everybody took it like he was saying. the coach is messing me up. Then the defensive head coach he steps away, and rumors saying it was FBI. It wasn't, but then it's talking about it was something he did. That was basically what they say. It was he did something detrimental to the team, whatever. So that's why they really cut him. Then they let go of the backup quarterback. It was like, what? Then the next day, $100,000 worth of equipment got stolen from Chicago. Like, come on, man. So it's just been the most embarrassing week for the Bears. And then with all that drama, plus, as I've learned, all 800 million Taylor Swift fans watching the game because she there, and the Bears, they can't even score a point. They can't even get past the 30-yard line. It was embarrassing. So I would say that would be like up there. But like you said, scoring 70 points. And the crazy thing is, first of all, that's 10 touchdowns. But the crazy thing is they were trying to like, all right, we're going to chill. We just going to run the ball. And they still was getting touchdowns. When the backup came in and threw a bomb, it was like, all right. But then it was all right, we just going to run the ball.
They're still getting them, yeah.
Still getting touchdowns, bro. Like that was it. But I will say this, Rue. That coach, I'm not even gonna say his name, is from a team that's in Los Angeles. He should be fired.
Yeah, for going for it on his own 30, own 20. Talking about that play?
How in the world? Yes.
Yeah.
It's fourth quarter with less than a minute left. It was like 40-something seconds left.
Brandon Staley, yeah.
I don't want to say his name. And 48 seconds left. And you mess around and go for it on a 4th and 3 at your own 20s.
And the week before, he punted it midfield, fourth quarter.
Like, bro, what you doing? And get like he got saved by Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, interception saved his job. No,
I'm not rooting for Minnesota. They're in my division of the Bears. When he did that, I was rooting for Minnesota to win.
That's
He
tough.
Fired. He definitely should be fired. But either or, the Falcons, they lost. The Atlanta Falcons home team, they lost. And everybody was getting mad because the coach is trying to put it in the Ritter's hands and everything. I know you watched it. I want to ask you, what? So, I mean, the season's still young. But are you feeling like, okay, Ritter's not the guy, or is it, let's give him some time?
All right, so for where this team is going and where I see them going, Ritter does not fit right now. He's a liability. And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Heineke for where this team is going and where I think he could possibly take us. His ceiling, I think, is higher than Ritter's. Heineke. That was Ritter's 7th game, against the Lions. So we still got to remember that. Like, he's still a fairly young quarterback. He only has 3 more starts to his belt than CJ Stroud and these guys. So he's still fairly young. But I just don't see him. I got high expectations and aspirations for the Birds this year. I just do not see Ritter being a quarterback, though. Of that team I have pictured. It's the throws. I don't think he reads the routes well. I don't think he's confident. It's a bunch of things. I think he goes into the game knowing that I'm not better than the quarterback, across from me. It's just something about Ritter, man. It's just not. Now, I did like how they opened up the playbook a little more, but he's not the answer. He's not the answer to this team.
And I want to say it's still young, but at this point, Okay, so I mean, I could speak on he's played more games, but I could speak on Justin Fields' part. Everybody want to blame Justin Fields. Luckily, I get, I'm able to watch the all 22, and because I'm able to watch the all 22, I could really see the field. The coaches' film, I could see what's going on, and some of that's Justin's fault, but it's a lot. Wide receivers not getting open. Is play calls are not. It doesn't make sense at that time. But Atlanta, you could just see from regular game film that it's not. He's not ready.
His decision making too is kind of fun. Like,
but he's young, and I think the problem is because what you got in your team. I mean, what you got for your team this offseason, and then the fact that Bijan is turning to look like a superstar. Algier is playing great, and you got these other weapons that you're not getting the ball to. So right now, it's like I don't know if the Falcons expected to be where they are, because I think this was the year to say, "Hey, let's give it to this kid. Let's see what this kid could do." I say don't turn back from as of yet. Just because the division is still, you can catch up. I say give him 3 or 4 more games. Let it see how it happens.
Yeah.
Let him see. Let him learn. Let him, because he hadn't played a full season. Sometimes it takes a rookie. Look at what Trevor Lawrence did his rookie season. Like honestly, last year was Justin Fields' rookie season. He got better. Let it happen. Some people need that. And everybody's not going to be like Patrick Mahomes or Russell Wilson. You understand? But I'll say let it happen. But at the same time, I know it's frustrating because you see that you have that guy that's, oh, we ready. You have that guy or guys, and you're like, oh, we're right there. We're ready. Let's keep it going. And quarterback is holding you back. So I get it. I understand. I like Peyton Manning. I get.
I think we only go as far as Ritter takes us this year.
Right.
And I don't think Ritter's going to be the one to take us to the playoffs.
And like you said, that's a tough. That's
disappointing.
Right. It's a tough decision because you do have Heineke, who we've seen, or we saw Heineke take
Washington
to the playoffs, come in and save the day. He's gutsy. He can throw.
Mm-hmm.
Pitts will be better. So I get it. Okay. Before we go, who has been the best rookie so far?
That's a great question because you're talking about the offense and defense.
Offense and defense. Because defensively, right now, Will Anderson's been balling.
Yeah. Jalen Carter. Been the best rookie defender in my opinion. My dog opinion.
Dude from San Diego, the linebacker. I mean, not San Diego, Los Angeles Chargers. He's been the best defender on that team with all them studs. He's been the best player on that team. Like everybody's saying, I don't understand why he's like a 4th round pick. They're saying why he's not a 1st round. Look him up, this linebacker. Get his name, but he was a rookie. And starting out, he's the best player on that defense. And that defense got full of stars, right? The best player on the defense. Then offensively, you got CJ Stroud. You got Pookie, who we call him Pookie, but Puka. You got Pookie.
Bijan.
Who?
You got Bijan's. This is tough, man. This is pretty tough. I want to give credit to one player though. Christian Gonzalez. He's doing a phenomenal job. And as a Patriots corner over there, locking it down.
Yep.
I'm gonna go with CJ Stroud. I think he has the toughest job, tougher job than any other rookie at the quarterback position. He's been impressive. Accurate. I don't think he's thrown a pick yet, and he has a lot of yards. I think he tied Cam, or almost is that tied Cam with the most yards through the first 3 games without a pick or something like that. But I'll go with CJ Stroud. And plus the wins was impressive too. The win
against Indy.
Jacksonville
I mean,
Jacksonville,
I'm sorry.
knowing they're off a loss, impressive. So he looks poised, and he's getting those guys involved like Tank Dells and Nico Collins of the world. So I'll go with CJ.
All right, and quickly, I agree with you, but I think the way Puka's been playing, and I mean he didn't have a so great, but they focused on him. But when you breaking records, you got to be the best rookie. When you break, he only had 4 catches yesterday, and with his first catch, he had the most catches by a rookie in 3 games. Of course, the most catches for a rookie in 2 games, 26. Like when you breaking records like that, you got to give it to him. So I'm gonna go with him. But hey, like I said, the future is looking bright. We'll see what happens. I just want to see what happens when Cooper Kupp comes back. But we'll see. So look, we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna be right back, and we're gonna have family in the building. Hey, if you want to know what's going on with we might have some extra family too. But anywho, if you want to know what's going on with the fantasy football, stay tuned because a lot of injuries we talked about. We want to know when they're coming back and if you should play them if they're coming back and so on. All right, we'll be right back.
Have a sports injury? Need to see an orthopedic doctor? Ortho Atlanta is one of Metro Atlanta's largest orthopedic and sports medicine practices, providing orthopedic and sports medicine care for the whole family. With 37 physicians and 14 offices, the practice provides the highest level of care for injury of muscles, joints, bones, and spine. Ortho Atlanta offers convenient access to a full range of musculoskeletal surgeons and specialists. Ortho Atlanta also offers on-site physical therapy, pain management care, MRI imaging, and workers' compensation care. The Ortho Atlanta surgery centers in Austell and Fayetteville provide cost-effective, same-day surgical procedures in an accredited outpatient center. Hip, knee, shoulder, back pain? Ortho Atlanta has you covered with specialists in all areas. Same-day appointments, orthopedic care for the whole family. Ortho Atlanta, Atlanta's choice for orthopedic and sports medicine care. Learn more at www.orthoatlanta.com.
Back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, and it is now time to bring in some family in the building. Our cousin, should I say cousins? Dr. Fowler, orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta. What's going on, sir?
What up, guys? How's it going?
I'm good. You see the new edition.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Doc.
Baby girl Monroe hanging out.
Hey,
family. New addition to the 3-Point Conversion.
Right.
Maybe the youngest guest appearance in the history of the show, right?
Definitely.
So Doc, let's get to it. Man,
I was gonna say real quick. Hopefully, Mr. Controversy doesn't wake her up by his voice.
I hope
start screaming.
She's doing okay so far, but I got mom over here to hand off if needed. So,
but Austin Eckler was back at practice, although he was limited dealing with that ankle injury. With having a bye week after this particular week, what do you think his chances are of playing this week since they have about a week after this?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's kind of like, you want to protect your investment here in that bye week. I mean, another 2 weeks is such an extra gain, I think, in the long haul for the season to prevent any kind of recurrence and get him as close to 100% as possible before he's back out there. So I know, the games are important no matter what part of the year, but if you're trying to keep him out there, because he's, obviously really important to the offense. You've already lost Mike Williams for the year and some other pieces. I almost feel like you got to play the long-term game. If he's not really close quite yet to 100%, you sit him for one more week, get him that extra week, and you're hopefully ready to roll week 6 and not have any, further issues.
Now, Doc, Saquon Barkley has been dealing with that high ankle sprain, and although they rule him day to day, do you expect him to miss a significant amount of games?
I mean, he's unfortunately had high ankle sprains in the past, and I think missed 3 to 4 games. So, I mean, if he made it back, I think it's Monday night they play, so he gets an extra day, but I think you're looking more at a 2-week recovery from a high ankle sprain, which is pretty quick. So I know he's been bumped up to day and is improving. I'd be kind of surprised if he ended up playing on Monday night. I think you probably see him, 2 weeks from now is a more likely timetable. Not saying it's not possible, but again, you're trying to look out for these guys. It's a long season. We're in the infancy of that, and if he goes out there and he messes it up worse, then you're probably talking another 4 to 6 weeks at that point. So,
yeah, like we saw with who was that? Christian McCaffrey. He missed a great deal of games. I don't even think he came back after with that ankle sprain. So, yeah, I definitely see and understand that. Now, Derek Carr, the New Orleans Saints quarterback, missed most of the second half of Sunday's game against the Packers due to injuring his shoulder. Was it his thorn shoulder? I don't remember. Or was it the off shoulder?
It was his right shoulder. I don't think he's lefty, so it's it's a throwing shoulder. So
how long do you anticipate him? How long do you anticipate him being out?
Yeah, I mean, they're calling it an AC separation, where basically you kind of sprain the ligaments that hold the clavicle there. If he was, a position player, you can pat it and it might be different, but his throwing shoulder, that's kind of a whole nother story. So I know he's kind of saying, hey, if I can be out there, I'm going to be out there, and he's improving day by day as well. I do not expect to see him this weekend. I think you're going to get another dose of famous Jameis, and at least they'll have Kamara back from his suspension to take a little pressure off the offense too. But I'd suspect at least kind of 2 to 3 weeks to really have him right, with that being his throwing shoulder.
Now, Doc, both Christian Watson and Aaron Jones said they are playing this week, Thursday Night Football tomorrow. If they do, how much do you trust them to play well, and should fantasy owners play them if they have the choice?
Yeah, so I'm going to separate out the two because I have a different verdict for both. So I think Aaron Jones, assuming he plays, you probably got to play him, because more than likely you drafted him in the first or second round. And whether you have 2 or 3 running backs, my guess is you probably don't have a lot of better options than what he potentially is going to give you, even again, if it's back to a timeshare with Dylan. You saw what he did week 1. So I almost think you have to commit to Aaron Jones because he's going to get you touches. Watson, I would not start. I've never been a fan of receivers coming off hamstring injuries. You can cite my prior recommendations on Cooper Kupp earlier this year when he was trying to come back from a hamstring. And more than likely, if you drafted Christian Watson, it wasn't certainly as high as Aaron Jones. It was going to be kind of later in the draft. So you should have at least some other serviceable wide receivers that you can start in their place. So I would roll the dice on Aaron Jones, but I would sit back on Watson and make sure he proves that he's healthy before you get burned, is my 2 cents.
I believe that Doc tried to throw a jab at me saying, you know what Aaron Jones did against, he didn't say Chicago, but he said, you know what he did first
week 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I caught that.
He had a field day.
But all right, man. We definitely appreciate that. Take heed. This might better watch out. I mean, the way the advice Doc was giving for fantasy football, that was on point.
No, it was.
We got to keep you on, man, because it's time for these picks, man. We're gonna go through them quickly. So first off, and what we'll do is, if I call on you, you have that who I call first, you get to say why, whatever, and then the rest of it we'll just say who we have. So and we're gonna start with to do NFL. And first of all, the record is I was corrected. So me and Rue are 8-4 and Doc is 7-5. So it's very close. And I think this is definitely going to be the week to separate it. So first game, Doc, we're going to give it to you. Detroit and Green Bay. Who do you have?
Yeah, I mean, I chose Detroit. Was a little torn on this one. I'm pretty sure it's in Green Bay. I mean, that's always a good home field advantage. I guess I'm a little more excited by kind of the playmakers on the Lions and their offense. I mean, Love has done great for Green Bay, but a lot of their offense is banged up. Obviously, we just talked about Watson and Aaron Jones. So I'm going to take the Lions, given they got a little bit more firepower, even though it's in Lambeau. But I think it's going to be a really good game.
All right, Rue, who you picking?
I'm going with the Lions and the Packers in this one. I'm sorry. I'm going with the Packers in this one. Thursday Night Football. Jared Goff is not the same quarterback when he's not in a dome. And he's totally different. So I see this Packers team rallying off that 18-point fourth quarter comeback win they had against the Saints and getting it done at the crib.
All right. So I'm going Detroit. What you said, Doc. So just think Detroit is going to, Green Bay got lucky last week. So I don't think they waited, even though they were unlucky against the Falcons. But so I'm going with Detroit. All right, next game we have Miami and Buffalo. Rue, I'm gonna let you go ahead and give your reasons why you think whatever team's gonna win.
Yeah, Josh Allen is back, man. Buffalo looks like they on a revenge tour for everybody who tried to cast them off after week 1 against the Jets. They made Washington look like your Bears, Raph. I'm sorry. But no, they are a really – that team, the defense is clicking, man. 4 interceptions last week. I don't think Tua and the gang is going to find it that easy this week. They might have what's my guy, Waddle back, but no, I got to go with Buffalo. I don't even care what this game is. Where is this game?
In Buffalo.
Oh, definitely.
I hear you. I'm going to just say real quick, only reason I'm choosing Miami, the team that played them the toughest was New England, right? Great, held them down, and they only kept them to 30 points. Buffalo's defense is not good as New England.
What?
They played Washington.
Yeah, okay. 9 sacks.
They played Washington. Their defense is not good as New England. So, and New England made Miami's offense look kind of like it looked normal, but they still scored 30 points. So that's why I'm just saying I think it's probably they're gonna go blow for blow, but I have Miami pulling it out. Doc?
Yeah, I'm going with Rue. No disrespect, Mr. Controversy. Granted, it's not a winter game in Buffalo where it's going to be 20 degrees and those Miami Cats are going to be freezing on the sideline. But everyone's excited about the track meet and the show they just put on, and they're fun to watch. But I almost think you're not giving enough credit for Buffalo's defense, and I feel like Buffalo has something to prove. Like they almost feel like they're forgotten at this point between all the typical hype behind the Chiefs and my girl Taylor Swift, who Mr. Controversy didn't know who that was apparently. And then you got the Dolphins, and it's kind of like the Bills are being overlooked. So I see them coming out at home, knowing that everyone's hyping the Dolphins and being ready to play. And I think it's going to be a good game, but I think the Bills win.
And next game we have is the Baltimore Ravens they're going to be in Cleveland facing the Browns. And that's a tough one. Who did I pick? I think I picked Cleveland.
You picked Cleveland.
I'm not gonna lie, like I've been going back and forth with this, but only reason why I picked Cleveland, I just think when you have to depend on a rookie wide receiver to be your leading receiver, I don't think Mark Andrews is back all the way. But the biggest thing is, as good as, and I'll keep it short and sweet, as good as Lamar Jackson is, elusive as he is, I think the player that's playing the best right now in the NFL, the best. I mean, you got Tua, but to me, nobody's giving credit to is Myles Garrett.
Yep.
So I and that defense has been playing very good. You know, it's just Cleveland's offense hadn't caught up yet. You know, and I think you saw them kind of catch up last week. So I have Cleveland winning.
Yeah, I mean, all these matchups I think are close this week that we're talking about. I'm taking Baltimore. I mean, I could certainly see Cleveland winning. It's at home. Everything you said, Myles Garrett, et cetera. Defense is nasty. I don't feel like the Ravens have clicked yet and shown how good they are. Now, granted, they've lost running back, or at least maybe two running backs now. Like you said, they're inexperienced at receiver, but again, I think overall we still haven't seen vintage Baltimore, and it somehow I almost feel like Cleveland's kind of outperformed where they're really at, and maybe they'll find their groove, like you said, offensively too. But I just see a way of Baltimore coming out slightly better playmakers, obviously, in offense when you're talking about Lamar Jackson. So,
yeah, I'm rolling with the Browns on this one. That defense is dominant. Myles Garrett is dominant. Proving it week in, week out. But the reason I'm picking Baltimore is the defense. I think that offense is starting to wake up, like you said, Mr. Controversy. I think Deshaun, the real Deshaun Watson, please stand up. I think he's starting to get there, and I think he takes these matchups personally. Week 1, beat the heck out of Joe Burrow. I think he wants to go out and beat these guys, man, the Lamar Jacksons, and you know, next week I think they got Purdy. I think he sort of like, I'm forgotten one. I think he sort of takes a little onus on these matchups. So I gotta go to Browns on this one.
And then last game, Tampa Bay versus New Orleans. So we saw Jameis. I think Jameis came back last year and played well at this one. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Dr. Fowler again.
Yeah, I'm going to go New Orleans. I mean, certainly some uncertainty at quarterback with Jameis, but I watched that Tampa Bay game the other night. I don't know. I'm not impressed with what they're doing offensively. The Saints are getting Kamara back, even though, you know, you have possibly a new quarterback with Jameis. Saints defense is pretty stout this year and has done a good job. No matter what the offense is doing and keeping in the game. So again, I think another close game, but with Kamara back in New Orleans, I'm going to take New Orleans over Tampa.
It looked like Monroe, right?
Monroe, yeah.
She didn't like that, but go ahead. You said it. She woke up out of sleep, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm with New Orleans too, just like Doc said. I like that the fact that Kamara's back. They're at home. I think Jameis does just enough to win it. Close game though.
Oh, I forgot about Kamara coming back and my decision, but I'm gonna go Tampa Bay. As good as New Orleans defense has been, Tampa has been playing pretty good defense. Like honestly, the way they couldn't stop the run, you know, if you can run on them, which they, you know, New Orleans don't run that type of style, but good. But I just think Tampa's defense is playing well. Their offense is playing great, playing very good as well. And is Lattimore playing? Is he injured or he's playing?
I believe he's playing.
So you always want to watch this matchup because somebody's getting kicked out.
Mike Evans and Lattimore.
It's going to be a fight. They always do it. So like,
should I start Mike Evans this week?
No, right? Yeah, but it's always going to be a fight or something. But still, I just think Tampa's going to go in. I mean, they had Brady, you know, but when you have somebody like a Baker who has that gritty attitude as well, he's going to be with the team and rock with the team. I just got Tampa, man. And then quickly, if y'all can just give me the score. We're going to go college. We have Colorado and USC, and it is at a plus 21 for Colorado. Are you all taking it, Mr. Controversy? Sorry, Dr. Fowler, are you taking it?
I'll take Colorado to cover. That I won't waste too much time. They've taken everything personally in a good way, but now I think they're going to have to take it personally in a bad way after what they showed on Saturday, last Saturday, that is, against Oregon. I don't think they're going to beat USC. I think, unfortunately, those schools just have too much talent right now, especially on the line, that Colorado can't keep up with. But I do think that Deion will have his team a little better prepared for that caliber, and they're at least going to cover 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm taking Colorado plus 21. I think they lose by 17, 18 though. So, but 21 is a lot of points with that USC defense. It's not good. Offense is spectacular, probably the best in the nation next to Washington. But I'm taking Deion to stay within 21.
I am taking. I'm like y'all. I'm taking Colorado as well. I think it's going to be closer than that. I think it's going to be 10 points to maybe a touchdown. I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado upset them, just because, like Dr. Fowler said, USC's defense is not good. The only reason, no, I won't say that. Yeah, well, I'll say that I felt like, yes, they couldn't stop Oregon, but in these other games, the problem has been no team has been able to stop Colorado. Now, true, they don't have Travis Hunter, but USC's defense is horrible. Like, this is probably the best chance. Like, they're probably the worst defense that Colorado's going to play for the here on out in that conference. And you see them. That's why they struggle with Arizona State. And if that offense is struggling like that again, I just if they can't stop Shador and that offense, I think it's going to go back and forth, and it could turn out to come with the turnover where it's a fumble or whatever. And that's why I say I got them covering it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Colorado mess around and upset them.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be, because I think it's going to go back and forth. I think if they lose, it's going to be by 7 to 10.
I would be stunned. Like, I'll be like jaw drop. All right, bro.
Yeah, I just think that's the problem. If you can score, you'll be able to go back and forth with USC. So, and then last but not least, we got Duke and Notre Dame.
Good one. Game day, Doc. Y'all got game day.
All right. Duke is at a -5.5.
I might have woke up.
Duke's plus 5.5.
Wait, plus 5.5. I'm sorry, plus 5.5. Who do you have? I apologize. Plus 5.5. That's right. Because go ahead, Doc. What do you have? Just let you say.
No, yeah, I'll be quick. Obviously, my squad, first game day ever. So it's a big deal that we kind of have a football program. I don't think anyone saw us winning by 21 against Clemson in week 1, and that's been the closest anyone's been to us. Now, Notre Dame, I kind of wanted them to beat Ohio State, because I feel like if they were to lose to Ohio State like they did, they're going to come in with a chip on their shoulder and even more pissed off and ready to play. So I actually don't like that. But, I mean, Duke has a projected first-round quarterback in Riley Leonard, who's fun to watch. Watch his basketball mixtape from high school if you want to see a 6'4" white guy doing crazy 360 dunks on the court, and it's pretty darn impressive. But he's a great leader for that team. They got, I think, 18 starters back from last year. So it's not a fluke that they're good. Now, again, they don't have the pageantry and everything that Notre Dame does, but I think they're going to defend home field, and I'm hoping continue to shock the world and not only cover, but win the game. So
now I'm rooting for Duke. I want Duke to win. But by the sakes and purposes of my job and this show, I gotta go with my mind and not my heart. I'm taking Notre Dame with the -5.5. I think Doc said it though. They're that loss, I think it stings, and I do think they come out and they they try to make up for it. Coaches too. You saw what the last 2 plays, 10 players on the field. I think that's just a bad taste in a coach's mouth. And I do think they come out and handle business. But I'm rooting for Duke.
Well, they get either two things can happen. Like you said, they can have the chip on their shoulder, or they can still be down and come in this game just feeling down and have nothing to play for. But I do agree with you all. I think they will have a chip on their shoulder. They should have won that game, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, the fact that they should have won, that could be a letdown.
I won't be surprised if Duke wins.
Yeah. So, but with Duke, I wouldn't be surprised either. But I see Notre Dame winning that game. All right, Doc, man, we definitely appreciate you and Monroe coming in. Tell the wife we say hello. And Doc, I want to say enjoy this time, because in about a year or so, them white walls.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's look, right now is this, we're doing this in a year, you at the house, we're gonna see like Ruby doing, we're gonna see you put on mute.
Yeah.
So.
No, I appreciate it, fellas. We're having a lot of fun. I was gonna ask real quick how much time, because I wasn't on the show earlier, did you guys spend talking about the Dame to Bucks trade?
Oh yeah, that was the topic. So yeah. What? Go ahead. What you think? How do you feel?
No, well, I mean, I was kind of shocked. I wasn't paying a lot of attention. I mean, initially I know he wanted to go to Miami and blah blah blah, but Milwaukee kind of caught me off guard. I think it's a pretty sick combo with him and Giannis. I mean, they're giving him, I think, what he wants, and I'm excited to see what those two guys can do playing off each other. I mean, I don't think the other teams ended up bad in the trade. I mean, he didn't want to be in Portland. They got a lot of picks. They got some talent. I'm kind of curious to see what happens with Phoenix giving up Ayton and some of the pieces they got in return, but obviously they got a lot of good players there already. So I don't think it was a bad trade for anyone per se, but I'm kind of excited to see Dame and Giannis and what they're going to do together. So, hey,
I just say this. I was always taught this. I was just talking about this, telling my son this. You always have to watch for the quiet people, the ones that are quiet. You heard just a few days ago, Orlando was saying, hey, we're going to do this. They were saying Orlando's looking to push. Toronto said they feel real good about it. Miami's been talking. You hadn't heard a peep out of Milwaukee. And all of a sudden, man, it just shocked everyone. So, yeah, it shocked us. But all right, Doc, well, take care, man. And like I said, y'all have a safe, great weekend. Watch some sports.
Will do. Thank you, guys. Always a pleasure.
No problem. All right, y'all. We gotta take one more quick break. We're gonna be real quick and come back and just discuss a little bit about baseball. Then we'll be out y'all hairs, but you gotta hear this message for you all. This might help.
It's Kalen DeLoach,
we'll be right
linebacker.
Back.
This is Tyler Van Dyke. I play quarterback for the University of Miami.
What's going on? This is Shador Sanders. You're here listening to the 3-point conversion.
Yo, what's good, everybody? This is K Boogie here with your food for positive thoughts on the 3-point conversion with our boy, Mr. Controversy and Root. When you make mistakes, those are learning lessons. But when you make a mistake, own up to it. Don't try to duck from it. Don't try to sweep it up under the rug, or don't try to make it somebody else's mistake. If you've done the mistake, own up to it. If you make a wrong calculation, own up to it. Take responsibility for it, but learn from it. See, the most important thing about a mistake is you learning the lesson that you need to learn from it and understanding how to make that little tweak or correction to make it better for you. Remember, mistakes are only learning lessons for us to be better and to grow and to be a better version of ourselves. It isn't a reason or isn't a thing to be able to place blame on someone else or say, yo, it's that person's fault or this person's fault because we made the mistake. If we made the mistake, let's own to it. Let's own up to it and then learn from it. So this way we can be a better and more successful version of ourselves. Remember, you're equipped. God got you. Have a great one. I'll see you next week. Peace.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, and real quick, Brandon said Dame did say Giannis was one of the individuals he would love to play with. He definitely did, and we couldn't do this because it would cover Doc's face, but I'll let him know too. Brandon, you said congrats on that, but hey man, MLB is wrapping up, and the Cubs let me down yesterday against the Braves, man. Did you? I don't know if you was watching the game, but
oh yeah. I was at the Battery, man. I was over there.
I want to punch Suzuki.
Yeah, that was insane, bro. And that could possibly cost you all a playoff spot if you don't win out.
My point. Now, Cubs are up 3-2 right now, but it was like how you miss a catch. How you miss a catch like that? How do you miss? Like I can see if it hit your glove, bro. You missed it by like 2 feet, and you holding it like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
bro, what you doing? But anyway, so real quick, let's hit the standings up, man. I just want to hit the let's talk about the close standings. So right now, the American League East is still close. Orioles up by 2 games. Who you think gonna win out?
I think the Orioles will win out.
You think Orioles got it? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Then in the West, you have the Rangers up 2.5 games over the Astros and 3 games over the Mariners. The Mariners trying to come back. They fell flat on their face. Who do you think winning that?
I think Texas will. That's a significant lead for only 6 games left.
And then the NL is basically wrapped up.
Yeah.
So let's look at the wild cards. Rays are number 1 in the wild card. Saying they're good. They got it. They have a 10.5 game lead over the next team, and then I'm sorry, they have a 9.5 lead over the next team, and then Blue Jays and Astros are next, and then the Mariners are a half a game behind Astros. Yankees, Yankees should be out because
5.5 back. They're pretty much eliminated.
They battle back though, but and then do you think Houston holds on?
That's tough, man. That Houston actually has Seattle tonight. That game's very meaningful. I do think Houston holds on though. Champions, they should hold on.
Okay. And then in the national wild card, you have the Phillies, Diamondbacks, and now the Cubs are third, but they only have a 1 game lead over the Marlins and a 2 game lead over the Reds. What you think? Do you think, like you said, we don't know if the Cubs can hold on? And I'm just nervous, man, because I hope that how it's looking now, they're still playing well, but I hope they can't let this league, they can't blow this lead they have tonight. Because I think that might damage their spirits.
If y'all blow that lead tonight, it's not looking good. Tomorrow, y'all have Stroman back on the mound, and we don't really know who we're throwing. I do think y'all win tomorrow, regardless of who we throw.
That's right.
With Stroman on the mound, but you want this game tonight because Miami, I mean, they're cruising in Pittsburgh this weekend. So I see them winning this weekend, Miami, but Cubs, you don't want to go down
Right.
too,
No, you don't. You don't. Well, all right, man. So real quick, man, I just want you to talk about we know the Braves won, and we like you said, 5-0. So we expect them. I mean, Acuna, it was so funny last year. You were saying you don't know what's going to happen to Acuna, and now Acuna is going to win the MVP for the National League. But what I want to know is, out of those races I just mentioned, what you think is the most intriguing race? Not even talking a wild card, just the divisions.
It's the Rangers and the Astros because it's not over. I think that's probably the most intriguing division race. But the NL wild card is probably the most intriguing, though, even other than that division. Because even if the Astros win that division, who cares? That NL wild card race is going to come down to it, man. Because you can't count Miami out, then Diamondbacks and Cubs. It's really a 3-team race right now. That's this that time though. Mm-hmm. Only 6 games left, getting into October. So it's gonna be cool to see who comes down with that NL wild card. I'll say that.
Oh,
because the Padres aren't even out of it. Essentially, they got to win and need a lot of help. But
yeah. Looking at that, yeah. But like you said, it just depends where they are or whatever. But well, all right, man. Well, look, that wraps up the show. We definitely appreciate you, everyone who listened and stayed on even through the technical difficulties. We appreciate it. Very show. It was a lot to get to, a lot to talk about. So much. I mean, we're getting into that part of the year where we're going to start having a lot to talk about with trades, spectacular wins, playoffs, and all of that, man. So can't wait, man. So I think it's time to hear this music, and we all know what we always say. You hear this music, you already know what it means. It means it is time to let you go. But before we let you go, we have a couple shout outs, man. And stay tuned because you might be part of it. First of all, I want to give a shout out to the Almighty God for giving me this platform to do what I do, say what I say, make you all upset, mad, happy, want to give me the stop it button. God, I definitely appreciate it. Also, I want to thank my road dog, Rue, for coming on, man, holding it down like always. Rue, what you got anything to say?
Oh, yeah, man. I was always appreciated. Y'all be well this weekend, man. Be easy. Go Dogs. It's time for SEC play. A lot of people doubting the Dogs. But y'all shouldn't. Y'all gonna see why on Saturday they dominant. So no, I'm happy, man. I'm just happy.
All right, and I want to thank our guest Vincent the Famous Juru for coming on, and we always got to thank our dog, road dog cousin and cousins, Dr. Johnny Father III, orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta. Also, Miss Monroe. Also, we want to thank our sponsor and Ortho Atlanta. Then I want to thank everybody who listened and watched live, man. We thank Brandon always being there supporting, bro. We appreciate you always on the West Coast. Thank TJ Bentley. We thank Vincent the Fantasy Guru, and whoever else was in here. I know there's some people watching or whatever, but we appreciate you. Also, I want to thank my beautiful wife, my lovely children, my cousins, uncles, aunties, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews. My grandma, she was going crazy this weekend. Rue. I don't know if you saw, but she thought that we were watching the Colorado game.
Yeah.
She thought it was what's the high school that they was paying people to play?
Oh, Bishop Sycamore.
Yeah, she thought it was. She told me she thought it was Sycamore. She thought she was watching the Sycamore Yeah, on HBO Max. I told her, I said, no, Grandma, this is Colorado. It's not Sycamore. Either or, but I think oh, you're some more fake cousins, man. Hey, love family. Let family know that you love them. Friends as well. Love them while they're still alive. Love them while they can feel it. Hey, be safe. Eat good. Drink responsibly. Watch some sports. Until then, till next week, same time, same show, same crazy host, same sports nonsense. When you miss me, I'm out. Peace.